Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hi, how are y'all?
Could not be better. What's up?
So, our situation, I have a 23-year-old stepson that's on his second senior year, 2 more senior years left to go to get a general business degree. And my husband pays tuition, rent, utilities, truck, everything for him. So when he does graduate, he has stated that he doesn't want to get a job. He doesn't want to be an adult, doesn't want to do anything except for basically live off my husband.
Lonnie,
Yes.
why in the world would he want to get a job?
He has it made.
He's got the perfect life.
Exactly. Well, that's what I tell my husband. I'm like, why would he? If you're going to pay for everything, I mean...
Well, it's not the paying for everything. Some people are able to bless their kids. That's fine. It's the way in which that blessing is becoming a curse.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's no accountability with it. It's an
exactly
ATM machine with an endless donor.
Yes. And I'm on board with paying for tuition for his school. I feel like after 5 years, we should stop. And if he needs 2 more years because he messed around and lived his best life for a few years, I feel like that should be on him, that we shouldn't be on the hook, 7 years for a general business bachelor's degree.
Hey, Lonnie, your conversation is not with your stepson. Your conversation is with your husband.
Yes, and he is not on board.
But here's what. Hold on, don't miss what I'm trying to say. Your anger and frustration should be with your husband, and you're refusing to have that interaction, and so you're deflecting it on this 23-year-old kid. It's not the 23-year-old kid's fault. He's just been doing exactly what life has presented him. As my friend Henry Cloud says, he needs some problems, like rent and truck payments and insurance. But he's never had those because of your husband, not because of something that's wrong with your 23-year-old.
Right. So how do I try to get my husband on board? Because, I've had the discussion many times, and his response is, it's my money. I can do whatever I want. If we want to pay
That's
for his
one
school.
problem. This idea that it's all my money, and so you don't get a vote in what I do with my money. The other problem is it sounds like he's been trying to buy his son's love for a long time now. And if he doesn't have this anymore, the relationship will need some actual repair.
Yes, that is true.
So that's what's lying underneath all of this that I can smell a mile away. But the conversation he needs to have with his son is, hey, I've been doing a really terrible job raising you into the man that I want you to be and that you need to be. And so this looks like new boundaries, new rules as for how this is going to happen. You're going to finish school in 2 years, or else I'm not paying for it. You're going to now take over the truck payment and get a part-time job. And guess what? The son's not going to like that, is he?
No.
But that's between them at that point, isn't it?
Yes.
You need to put the ball back in his court, and he needs to be a man and be a husband, and it needs to be our money, which means you get a vote. That's what he signed up for when he married you, isn't it?
Yes, that is correct.
So here's the conversation. It is not, I can't believe you're giving this kid money. I can't believe you're doing that. You're doing this. You're doing this. Because when you come at him with a bunch of accusations, he has to defend himself. That's just human nature. He doesn't have to. He could curl up in a ball, but he's got to defend himself. And if you can look back at your series of actions, they haven't worked, have they? It's just nagging him about this working? No, it's not. So let's do something different. Let's take him out. How long have y'all been married?
2 years.
Okay, let's take him out and say 2 years ago, we both said, I do. And my money and my heart and my life became yours. And your money and your life and your heart became mine. And when you say things like, it's my money, I can do whatever I want, it scares me to death and I can't breathe. Because I feel like I'm hanging out here all by myself. Like you're renting me. And it either has to be all of us, or we have to have a much harder conversation, because 2 years into marriage, this isn't a marriage. This is just a really sophisticated roommate situation. You see how one is you telling him how you feel, how scared you are, how his actions affect you, and the other is you just nagging him and throwing things at him. One is an invitation to a conversation, a hard one. The other is, I'm throwing stuff at you, now I'm going to throw stuff at you, now I'm going to throw stuff at you, and then you get mad and walk away. Third or fourth down the list, we'll get to talking about how he's funding his son's immaturity with no end in sight. But that's not the first conversation. The first conversation is your marriage is not as strong as you think it is. And let's be super honest. There's other things going on besides this, isn't it? Isn't there?
No, actually, we have a wonderful marriage. It's just this is the only thing that we argue about.
You just described a way in which it's not wonderful. And that is, he has his stuff, and you've got yours. Which means you'll have a wonderful living arrangement. You don't have a wonderful marriage. Because wonderful marriage says, who are we going to be together? And how are we going to move forward completely united, getting closer with every step we take into the future? Not, this is my crap and that's your crap. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the hard conversation to have.
Do you have a good relationship with him, with the stepson?
Not really, because we really
You're trying to ruin his life, make him pay for his own truck.
No, we only see him when he wants money or needs something from my husband.
No, really?
Right? I mean,
I think you try to invest in this relationship, and you try to help him set some goals and dig in and make it more than just a transaction.
Well, I like that idea, George. Maybe you call him and take him to coffee.
There's an option.
Maybe you call him and say, hey, I just wanted to get to know you better. What if we started going to lunch together?
I'll cover lunch. There you go.
Yeah, I'll pay for lunch. Hey, marriage is not you do yours and I'll do mine. It's we will do ours, however complicated that is.